Hi students, welcome to our next class in vectors concept. So whatever we have discussed in the first video, if you want to see that, I will give the description in this video bottom, so then you can see that what we have discussed in the first. But now today in the second video, what we are going to see, what is a 3D vector, that we are going to see very clearly, and types of vectors, and why we need to know the 3D vector and why we need to know the types of vectors. We must have the reason for that. Then only we can get interested to know and to learn about those things. Okay. Now let us go to the 3D vector. For example, maybe you have seen somewhere, and if you write one vector, suppose OA bar equals to 3i cap plus 4j cap plus 5k cap, like this you can see, because the three magnitudes, three directions are there, that's why it is a 3D vector, we can see it. But what is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Okay, so that I am going to show you here in the diagram. Observe the diagram carefully. In this 3D vector, okay, I am taking this one as a x coordinate, and this is I am going to take as a y, this I am going to take as a z, this I am going to take as a z. Now here, what is the origin? 0, and from this you try to understand in what order I am giving it. Okay, A, B, C, and next one D, E, F, G. Whatever plane you want to know, from that diagram you can see very clear. Now what I am writing here, so it is a general representation. I have written OA bar, but not belongs to this specific case, because here if you take the names OF bar I want to write it. So that's why I can write this as OF bar I can take it. What is the meaning of OF bar? Take the O to F. This is a OF bar. Now that OF bar is nothing but from the Pythagoras theorem. What is the hypotenuse? Suppose if you take it OAB, what you can write? OB equals to OB square equals to OA square plus AB square. Like this you can take it. Similarly, observe this diagram. So what you can see the triangle, which triangle you can get for getting the OF bar? For getting that OF bar, you can see OBF. So from the triangle OBF, if you see that, what you will get? OF bar equals to, it is nothing but result. OF bar is result of OB bar plus BF bar. Now what is a OB? So BF, B to F is nothing but one dimension. It is parallel to the Z. See that B to F is a parallel to the Z axis. So that's why on Z axis you can take the measurement which is we need for BF. Okay, now you can see here OB is nothing but this OB is nothing but result of OA plus AB. So now you can see that OA and AB. That's why what I can write here, instead of OB I will write OA bar plus AB bar plus BF bar. Now you can observe here OA on y axis, right? On y axis. AB you can see, which is parallel to the x axis. B to F, it is on z axis. To get in a same, like x, y, z, how we write I, j, k, to get in the same direction, I am rewriting in a arrangement. Suppose AB bar is in X direction. In Y direction, OA bar plus BF bar. So what these are going to give? These are going to give me the some values which is on X axis some magnitude. Okay, that is something. I take it 3 magnitude, and on Y you are going to take it some 4 quantity. Okay, 4 magnitude. On Z axis I am going to take some 5. So if I write it including magnitude and direction in a 3D box, what I can write? AB is on X, right? That is number 3. In X direction, to represent the direction, I am writing I cap plus what is OA parallel BC is also giving me 4 J cap, and what is the B to F? So that is nothing but 5 K cap. This is what is the 3D vector. OF equals to F bar equals to 3I plus 4J plus 5K. I hope that you understand clearly how we can get from the diagram what is the meaning of OF, and by the combination finally we get the 3D vector. Okay. Now try to understand this illustration. You will understand very easily. Suppose one mosquito has started from O to F. So it has a journey from O to F. Now, how much distance it is covering from X? How much distance it is covering from Y? How much distance it is covering from Z axis? Like 3 axes. Okay, from 3 axes, how long it is going on? That is going to give us with a single representation, that is a 3D vector. So that's why in X, from the X what? 3 magnitude. From Y 4. From Z 5. Like whenever it is moving from O to F, this is the what the magnitudes have covered by the mosquito from the X, in X direction, in Y direction, in Z direction. That it gives us OF bar equals to these 3 magnitudes. Okay, so 3D vector. And now what is the magnitude of that? So whenever it is representing with the arrow, it is giving a vector. But OF bar magnitude, modulus, with modulus if you write, okay, these values, square root of those values, you are going to get the magnitude. For example, 3I cap whole square plus 4J cap whole square plus 5K cap whole square. Now what you are going to get? I square, I dot I equals to J dot J equals to K dot K equals to 1. That what is the meaning, and in product discussion we will do that. But you remember simply I square, J square, K square gives us the magnitude only 1. Now if you write that, what you are going to get? Square root of 9 plus 16 plus 25. This gives us the square root of 50. So what is the magnitude of OF bar? OF bar magnitude is going to give us 50, square root of 50. Now sometimes we might have seen what is the difference between, suppose I am writing here the 3 things, 3 notations. What is the difference in understanding the meaning whenever we have written like that? Let us see. Suppose I am going to write this as OF cap. Okay. So if I write OF cap, what is the meaning of this? Whenever I have written the cap, it is the meaning that it is a unit vector. Here OF modulus, how much we got? Square root of 50. But if you do OF cap, okay, whatever I am writing the meaning, OF cap means its magnitude is going to be only 1. So that is why we call these representation with the cap representation is known as a unit vector. Okay, so how we will come to know that OF cap equals to 1, that we will do in the next after continuation, we will do that. Here I hope that you understand what is a 3D vector, right? For 3D vector also, how you will get the unit magnitude as a 1, you can try, but I will do for 2D, because step by step you will get familiar with understanding how I am doing, how I am getting the unit vector. Okay, so I want to discuss first of all types of vectors, and after that only unit vector, because why we need to discuss the types of vector also you need to understand. Okay, so let us go to the next one. Now, so we can see these the major important types of vectors. Okay, null vector, unit vector, parallel vector in like, parallel vector unlike, collinear, coplanar, concurrent, orthogonal and non-coplanar. I will try to show you all these vectors in the diagram. Okay, so what is a null vector? See, null vector, here you already know that whenever we are saying vector, it has both magnitude and a direction. Whenever we are discussing all these vectors, you try to understand what is the magnitude of that vector and the direction of that vector. Okay, so here the magnitude of the null vector is 0, direction is can be in any direction. How could it be? Now let us see. Suppose, what is the starting point? What is the starting point to these all the system? You can say this is the starting point, right? It is. If at that starting point, from where x has started? There. From where y have started? There. From where z has started? There. Now, in these three coordinates, at that point, what is the magnitude of those three vectors? Okay, every magnitude have the common share, right? Now, those magnitudes have started just now, and in which direction it can move from there? In whichever it wants, it can move, because from there starting, it can move in x direction. From there, if it wants to, it can move in z direction. From there, it can move in y direction. In any of direction, it can move. That's why null vector has a 0 magnitude and it can move from there any direction. Now let us go to the unit vector. Unit vector magnitude is 1 and its direction is specified. So that simply that unit vectors in x, y, z. So in the first video we have already discussed. You once see that why we have taken like that. Okay, you can understand. Otherwise, simply to make you remember once again, just for two coordinates I will write here I cap to represent the positive x axis, x dash minus I cap, y in y direction z cap minus y dash is nothing but minus j cap. Like this, z also you can imagine we have given what is here representing I cap. I cap is representing unit vector because its magnitude is how much? Its magnitude is 1. Minus I cap, wherever you find a cap with a vector, there you have to imagine and you have to understand that it is having the magnitude only 1. How can we get it? It has a very speciality, that unit vector. If you want unit vector A cap equals to A bar divides with the magnitude of A bar, then you are going to get the unit vector. Then only you are going to get its magnitude as only 1. How we that we will see. Now parallel vector. So where you can see I cap, I told you that I will show the values here, all these vectors in this diagram only. I cap, right, and j cap, this is k cap, all unit vectors. Now parallel vector. See OC and AB, how they are parallel? They are parallel, so they are parallel vector. But like parallel means both are moving in the same direction. So that's why we can say it is like vector. Next, the parallel vector is, and again it is unlike, means if they are parallel but the direction is opposite. If it is, one is moving in a positive x, another one is moving in a negative x. So then what we can understand, its directions are opposite but magnitudes are okay, that we are not talking. So but parallel, unlike, we can understand. Now can you understand? So if I give the direction opposite to that, you will get that one. Next, collinear vector means same line of action or on same line. Suppose I have two vectors or three vectors on the same line. Then what these three can be? These three have the common line of action. So then that type of vector is known as a collinear vector. Now let us go. Coplanar vector. So if the vectors are lying in a same plane, how many planes it has now, this box? So this box have, right, the 6 faces, right? Suppose, let me take DEFG is one plane. Suppose here I have 3 vectors. If there in that plane I have 3 vectors, then what I can say, those 3 can be called as a coplanar vector because those vectors are lying in a same plane. Next, concurrent vector. So their line of action is passing through the common point. Let us take origin only. Suppose if I want to extend this, what I can do? I will get x dash in this direction. If z dash, I can get in the downward direction. I can get y dash in this direction. But all these 3 vectors are passing through the common point. So then like that, vectors we are going to call as a concurrent vector. Next, orthogonal vector. So if the vectors are perpendicular to one another, suppose x to the y, how it is? Perpendicular. X to z, perpendicular. Z to y, it's a perpendicular. They are mutually perpendicular. Whenever the vectors are perpendicular 90 degrees with one another, that type of vector is known as orthogonal vector. Now let's go to the non-coplanar vector. Suppose here we have already told you 6 planes are there. One vector is here, another vector is in this, another vector is in this. If I want to connect all these 3 vectors, how can I connect? I can connect with this non-coplanar vector. Because they are not lying in the same plane. They are lying in a different planes. That's why those are called non-coplanar vector. In physics point of view, whenever we are discussing the physical quantities, we mostly come across with these vectors. With these vectors we will come across. Okay, so majorly these vectors, what are the conditions? What are the conditions to say that 2 vectors are orthogonal vector? We will have to know that. And what is the condition to say it is a concurrent vector? So that's all these are needed information for understanding the physical quantities whenever we are discussing them in physics. Okay, that's why we need it. Now I am going to show you how to get the unit vector by satisfying this condition. Okay, at this simultaneously, what is orthogonal vector condition is, okay, a bar dot b bar is going to be 0. Then, okay, if I have taken 2 vectors a bar and b bar, if I do the dot product to them, if I get the result 0, then that 2 vectors are How they are? They are 90 degrees with one another. So that is the condition. Like that, every vector, to say why it is that vector, we have one condition. So we have to know what is that one condition. Okay. And now I am going to prove you how a vector is going to made as a unit vector. Okay, now what you can understand, OA bar equals to, from the Pythagoras theorem, what you can understand, OA square equals to OB bar square plus BA bar square, because you know hypotenuse square equals to side square plus side square is the Pythagoras theorem. So from that, what we can write, OA equals to, I want OA equals to, how it is going to, square root of O B bar square plus BA bar square. Now if you want that OA bar is going to be in the vector form, what is that, OB I cap plus BA j cap, because it is representing in a y direction, this is representing in x direction I cap, y direction j cap. That's why I have taken like this. If that magnitude is OB equals to taken as a I, suppose 3 I cap, BA I am taking as a 4 j cap, what is going to be the A bar? And what is going to be the A bar here? OA bar equals to 3 I cap plus 4 j cap. And what is the magnitude of that? What is the magnitude? That is only we have written, right? OA bar magnitude is going to be square root of 3 I cap square plus 4 j cap whole square. Now what we are going to get? 9 plus 16 square root is going to give us square root of 25. That gives us 5 magnitude. So this OA bar equals to, OA bar magnitude is going to be how much? 5. What is the condition to prove as a unit vector? OA cap equals to, OA cap equals to, or A cap simply I have to write A cap equals to, what I can write? OA bar divided by the magnitude of OA bar. What is the magnitude of OA bar? 5. What is the OA bar? Write this. This already we got 5. So what is the A cap? Or A cap is going to be, I am writing OA bar by magnitude of OA bar. What is the magnitude? OA bar is 3 I cap plus 4 j cap, right? 4 j cap. But what is the OA bar magnitude? 5. Now if you do that, what it will come? 3 by 5 I cap plus 4 by 5 j cap. Now this is the OA bar, right? OA cap. What is the magnitude? When we say that it is a unit vector, its magnitude should be 1. OA cap equals to square root of 3 by 5 square plus 4 by 5 whole square. Now you are going to get 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 25, square root of 25 by 25, you are going to get 1. Now what you understand? OA cap equals to 1 unit, 1 magnitude. What is the magnitude? 1. So what we can call this? It is a unit vector. Previously, few minutes back, I have already told the 3D vector also you can convert into unit vector. Because before going to do that, you have to remember 3 steps. What is the OA bar? You need to remember. OA bar is what? Magnitude of OA bar is what? That you need to remember. Is the first step and the second step. And the third one, what is the condition for proving it? This third condition, to prove it, you need to remember, and you substitute in that, you are going to get the unit vector. Okay, so these are very important. If you have the basic idea about these vectors, okay, you can understand the physical quantities whenever we are discussing in a subject physics. Okay, so I hope that you understand completely regarding what I have presented in this video. Okay, So I request you to like, share and subscribe my videos, RK Factory Kurnool. Thank you.